You may not have realized that baseball season is underway. Before the civil rights movement, before Jackie Robinson, there was a separate league called the Negro League. And in the Negro League, things were a little more informal. Rules of the game, a little fast and loose, and the announcers would take some liberties. At one game, there was a rookie playing. We'll call him Conley Gibson. And it was a disastrous performance. Dropping balls, errors, throwing the ball to the wrong team. As he walked off the field, the announcer said, "There, ladies and gentlemen, there goes Conley Gibson, who has just broken a Negro League record for playing 2 games at the same time, his first and his last." A human being, a person, is both first and last. Our neshama comes from the Ruach Elokim merachepes al panei hamayim, that predates creation. But the body, which houses that neshama, which allows that neshama to interact with the world, that was created at the very end, last, after everything else, after the mosquitoes and the bugs and the fish and the animals, the human body. So that the human being spans creation, both the first and the last, as the pasuk says, "Achor v'kedem tzartani," you formed me, last and first. Which means that we can be the highest of the high, reaching levels like malachim, but also the lowest of the low. The animal side of the person is darker and more base than the animals themselves. Tzartani means you have formed me, you have made me the tzura, the imprimatur, that which gives direction and shape to the rest of creation. Because we span creation, we can raise it all up with us or bring it down. Parshas Tazria describes the laws around the physical body of a person, childbirth, tzaras, right after Parshas Shmini, which dealt with the physical laws, the laws around the physical qualities of the animals, split hooves, chewed cud, which the first Rashi explains is because the physical body of the person was created after. But this word Tazria is an unusual verb. Usually we describe a woman as giving birth, teled, she gives birth. Isha ki Tazria, when she is planted. That's an odd turn of phrase. And then it goes on to say v'yolda, and she will have given birth in the past tense. That's a contradiction in tenses. It should say ki Tazria, when she will conceive, v'teled, and she will give birth. It says ki Tazria, v'yolda is already past tense. Why does it say v'yolda in the past tense? The next paragraph is v'im nekeva seled, it's in the future. Says the Or HaChaim HaKadosh, just as at the cosmic macro level of creation of mankind, there were 2 phases. There was that initial kedem phase, that early first phase of Ruach Elokim, and after that was the phase of the physical body materializing in the world of physicality. So too it is on a micro level. Every time a person is created, there is that first moment of Tazria, of conception. The male sperm cell is the smallest cell in the human body. Like the Yud, the Kutzah Shal Yud, the tiny letter representing spirituality, which is barely seen, it's barely there, the only letter not on the line. Representing that pure spirit and energy and potential, V'ruach Elokim. And 9 months later, there is that, the material form takes shape. And there's a baby that's born. But when does the Ruach, the Neshama, attach? It attaches at the outset, at that instant moment. And Sof Maaseh b'machshava tchila, what went into that initial inspiration and aspiration shapes the outcome and Ki Tazria, from that moment of the planting of that idea, V'yolda Zachar, the child's already born. It's already predetermined. The outcome is already shaped. Which is why we have to set our sights so high. And even though a person was created, the physical body so close, late, last, behind, and after all of creation, it was also created immediately adjacent to Shabbos. Sfas Emes explains, because we needed to be right next to the Shabbos, the day when we have the extra neshama, Yom Nishmas and V'lav de Gufa, to help us take that extra neshama to refine our bodies, to be able to reach that transcendent state. And on Shabbos we can experience this. On Shabbos we should be able to feel the godliness and the bliss and the purpose and the clarity and the truth. That is what we should be shooting for, what we should be aiming for throughout the week. That's where we want to set our sights. That's where we want to set our aspirations. We're not living in normal times. This past week I was in Washington, and I was talking to a seasoned political operative, a Jew, and he was saying, the past 4 decades, 70s, 80s, 90s, thousands, it felt like a vacation from history. Anti-Semitism. All of a sudden the vacation's over, we're back in history again. There's anti-Semitism. There are students at Berkeley University circling mezuzahs when they see them, saying, down with the Zionists. You imagine? Circling mezuzahs. I was at the ABA antitrust section spring meeting, a gathering of competition lawyers. And a friend of mine, a law professor at USC in Los Angeles, told me there was going to be a gathering of pro-Israel lawyers, and maybe I was interested. And so I get this invitation. It's so cryptic. It says, you're invited to this gathering in support of Israel. We're not telling you the location. You can't forward this email to anyone. 24 hours before the event, you will get a separate email with the instructions to follow. So I get the instructions the day before. And the event is called for 5 to 6 p.m. on Thursday. And at 5:45, I'm walking from the meetings that I had to this event. And as I'm walking by, clearly a Jew, I'm walking in the streets in Washington, D.C. A woman, maybe 65 years old, is walking the other way. And as she passes, she says, doesn't look at me, she just says, left on K Street. I think they were overdoing it a little bit, secret society-like. But that's the kind of time we're in, a time when the arch enemy of Eretz Yisrael has made these threats, these attacks, to attack directly. And it's a time when the world desperately needs us to be the tzartani, to be the tzura, to be that image, to raise the entire creation up with us. And we take that Shabbos, the extra neshama that we have today, to make those tazrias, plant those seeds, set our sights high, and that will raise the entire world, the world of actuality with us. It will materialize. That will be Yolda. It's already happened. It's already happening. And that will lift the world up to the Geula Shlema from Heri Meinu Amen.